My name is Alan.
My name is Evan. And
welcome to all my friends.
Dude, that was so legit.
There it is.
And we are back for another episode of All My Friends. It's a good one, Al. We're on a bit of a bender right now.
A little bit of a bender.
3 days straight recording.
Yeah.
That's what you were talking about, right?
Oh, totally. Nothing to do with any alcohol intake we might have had.
Nope. No booze consumed on this podcast, that's for sure. We're a sober podcast. We are recording. It is officially April, y'all. Welcome to April showers. Except we don't like showers, so hopefully no showers here. But it is April. We've got a great episode for y'all today. Our interview is with one of the most exciting people in music right now. Her name, or their name, I guess the band, is Flint Eastwood, all the way from Michigan. Great interview.
Detroit,
Michigan. Yeah, we did it in a restaurant, so we're rogue.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yep, Alan forgot. See? We've been doing so many podcasts. We've been recording so many episodes for you guys that we're actually forgetting about some of them.
So yeah, we'll get to a little bit of an introduction about Flint in a bit, but first, we're gonna get off to some segments.
Segment time.
Gonna start off with This Week in Music. Ev, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, we had, of course, as always, you know, as we say on the podcast, music industry is the industry that never sleeps, never stops. Another big week in music. First headline that we dug into, apparently Amazon Music says that the number of subscriptions has doubled in the past 6 months.
But do you think that's from 4 people to 8?
Dude,
oh, cool.
The joke that I wrote down for this is that Amazon employees, the number of people that work for Amazon has probably doubled in the last 6 months. So that's not saying a ton, because Amazon seems like one of those things that they, everyone at Amazon uses Amazon Music, and you don't have a choice.
Also, I feel like I have Amazon Music because I have Prime.
That's
I'm not
what
positive,
I do too.
But it's also I could be counted as one of those people, but I've never opened it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Or it's either I have a feeling a bunch of 50-year-olds discovered what streaming music is, and they're like, "Oh, Amazon, that's what all the hip kids are into these days," and they "Oh, I have Prime," and that's how they do it, and that's why it doubled in the last 6 months. I feel like that's I'm on board with you that that's probably a fake stat.
Yeah. I mean, good for them, I guess.
Good. They're third in streaming as far as Spotify, Apple Music, and then
makes sense.
Amazon.
They're too big.
I also just no thanks. We don't need to support them even more.
Yeah,
Amazon taking over the world. Honestly, I talk about this all the time, but it literally reminds me of the movie WALL-E. I literally think that Amazon is going to become the only company that we ever use anything through, and it's going to come back to bite us in the butt. And then there's going to be a robot that saves us.
Them, Google, or Facebook. One of the 3.
Those 3. Anyways, so yes, if you use Amazon Music, get a life, you nerd. What else did we get into, Al?
This was a pretty interesting one. Physical sales finally outsold digital downloads in the U.S. for the first time since 2011.
So to be very
clear,
that.
so this is to be very clear.
Here we go.
This isn't streaming. This is only if you buy music digitally or physically. So basically, vinyls are outselling people that buy music online.
We know it's not CDs.
So it's not CDs.
We basically broke the news that Best Buy was giving up on CDs.
CDs are dead.
Yeah, we regurgitated that headline.
Which is just kind of wild that people are actually buying more physical copies, basically vinyls, than they are actually buying an electronic copy of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is only 15 and 17%, and the remaining 65% or whatever is all streaming. So obviously, streaming is still by far the biggest way of getting music.
The ease of it. I bought a record last week. Little Casey Musgraves. Shout out Casey. We're big supporters of her on the podcast, but we don't need to get into that. That's cool though. That's good. That's a little reassuring, even though I still will, from time to time, will buy that $1.29 song off iTunes, and I feel like an idiot.
Yeah, I know you do.
It's high quality though.
Yeah.
So it's one of the better qualities you can get, but still feel like an idiot when I do it. So hooray for physical music. Next up, we got a Taylor Swift sighting, y'all. Taylor Swift is in the news for a couple, as she always is. But apparently she gave a surprise performance at Nashville's Bluebird Cafe. She was one of a bunch of huge country stars that played in this tiny little, I don't know actually if it's tiny or not, but it seemed like a small
venue.
Venue in Nashville. It's where Taylor Swift had played one of her first shows when she was 14. There is some footage or shots of her drinking whiskey too, which is I know that
Just
she's
a country
like
girl.
she's a grown woman. She can do whatever she wants, and she's obviously of age to drink. But I still always feel weird about it. I always think of her as underage.
Really?
In a way.
What?
Like, no, I don't think of her as underage, but I think of her as such like a pure soul that alcohol should never taint her.
So when Jesus turned water into wine, he wasn't pure?
I feel like we're going to talk about Jesus a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, it was Easter yesterday, so he is technically back.
Exactly.
So that's something we have to remember. But yeah, Taylor Swift, she did a little surprise performance leading up to her massive arena tour that she's about to do, stadiums.
Is this surprising in the least? She's going to come back to country. Her
No.
next album, I would bet,
I think
is going to be country influenced. I'm not saying it's going to be 100% country like her original, like first
Casey.
album or anything like that, but
Yeah.
it's going to be pop country.
I feel like
would
that
bet
door's
on it.
closed. I feel like that the swaying doors, like in a saloon, she walked out and they were one way. She could, like, if she tried to poke her head back in there, they'd be like, you left us. You left us for the big money.
She'll be back. Guaranteed.
I'm okay with it. I'm all right with all of it. I mean, we're Taylor fans, so like, Alan loves that last record a lot. Alan says it's his favorite Taylor Swift record.
It's the worst.
He has a Taylor Swift Reputation tour T-shirt on right now. It's weird. Allegedly.
I would wear it if I had one, but
That would be tight.
that album sucks.
That would be tight. What else we got, Al?
Jared Leto, he's
30 Seconds to Mars, baby.
Yeah.
He's banned.
He sets a week-long journey around America to celebrate 30 Seconds to Mars, a new album.
Okay, now I wrote this one down, and because I read through the article, he's Jared. Okay, to clarify, Jared Leto is literally he's in the band 30 Seconds to Mars. If you're not familiar with them, he's literally taking like bicycles. He's hitchhiking. He's taking lifts. They included the tag "lift" in the actual article, so you know Lyft's got that money.
Sponsor.
Lyft's got that money coming through. He's walking basically anything to get across the country and promote this album. My theory, that he's flying. He's flying like 99% of the way, and then they'll have like some footage.
He strikes
of him.
me though as a very like odd person who would
Oh, yeah,
do that, who
I'm
would
sure he
just be
is.
like, yeah, I'm just gonna hitchhike my way through basically. Like if anyone would do it, I could see him doing it.
Yeah, but I also think he's one of those guys that doesn't realize how incredibly big the country is. He probably, like, if you asked him,
Like
so
what?
like, how many days is this going to take you? He would say 6.
Yeah.
And he'd honestly think that he could walk across the country in 6 days. There's no way he's not going to fly
2
at
days
some
in,
point.
when he realizes he's like 2 cities over from where he started, he's like, oh shit.
He seems like
not
a guy-
going as I thought
exactly.
it would.
And I bet Forrest Gump is like one of his favorite movies, so he's going to be thinking that it's doable like Forrest Gump. He's also apparently on the way. He's going to be handing out genetic testing kits. That 23andMe, that company that does those.
Shout out.
Yeah, that's also plugged in there. I'm like, okay, so now you literally have this genetic testing company sponsoring you, like to hand out. That has nothing to do with your album, by the way.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Should have sent a genetic testing kit to Mars. 30 Seconds to Mars.
There you go.
Should have done something with Mars. I feel like you got to do that.
Or 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Fun fact, I've seen Jared Leto play 30
What?
Seconds to Mars.
Why? When?
In California, summer of like 2005.
Sounds like you
maybe?
did this on accident.
I went to Linkin Park,
There it is.
Chris Cornell,
Oh, wow.
and
RIP.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Damn, one of those does not. Actually, they
All
both
three of them
said
were
it
pretty,
fast.
actually. It was...
It's tight?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's fine.
why? Okay, never mind.
Summer concert. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's just classic summer show that Alan Ponning would go to. I've never thought you would ever be at that. Anyways. The last one that we've got. This is a headline that we found on Billboard, the big journalism site. And I think we're going to have to call BS because they are definitely stealing our shtick.
Yep.
The headline is Get to Know Blood in the Cut singer K-Flay. Pretty sure we interviewed her like 2 months ago.
Also, well, actually, I figured it out. They're catching up on the episodes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So Billboard is a big supporter of the podcast.
Shout out Billboard for
They're
supporting
not
us.
presenting us. They're not presenting sponsor yet, but they'll get there. Speaking of sponsors,
Maybe we could sponsor them.
we
Help
should.
them out.
Honestly, I feel like we got to be rogue and gorilla, and we can't conform to the man.
Yeah.
So we probably shouldn't go with Billboard. But speaking of sponsors, we recorded an electric interview yesterday that with a group that may actually be sponsored by Tito's. Ipso facto, we are basically sponsored by Tito's. They're our new unofficial sponsor. We're going to announce it right now.
Yeah. If anyone wants to send us a bottle of Tito's,
Many bottles, please.
will.
Please.
we will drink them.
We literally have receipts of how much we've supported Tito's in the last 24 hours.
That's way too much.
And I will tell you, it's a lot. So Tito's, come through with the sponsorship. We are so down to only drink Tito's for the rest of our life.
Absolutely.
Yes. If you came through with the Tito's Presents All My Friends. That's got a nice ring to it too.
Tito's Presents
All My Friends.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Shit. All right. Moving on. Go ahead.
Actually, last headline. This is a great one. Here's Katy Perry shoving 7 chicken nuggets in her mouth. Actual headline.
That is a real headline that we found.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's not even cool. That was a legitimate headline on a legitimate, I think it was Consequence of Sound or Stereo Gum. How in your right mind is that going to be like something that you feel is newsworthy? I love chicken nuggets. I like Katy Perry. Come on. There's bigger things in the world.
The internet. It's just so disappointing. In a way, though, it makes sense that 2018, that's what Katy Perry's doing.
Yeah, it is. And
she's like,
judging
wow, my
American
music
Idol.
hasn't been good in a while.
Hey, take it back.
I have to do this TV show that no one watches anymore.
American Idol, still a very popular show.
No one watches it anymore. And she's like, I guess I have to shove 7 chicken nuggets in my mouth to, get people's attention.
I don't. That seems rude. That seems rude. The few clips I have seen of her on American Idol, it's not great. It just seems so uncomfortable. Maybe it's like the lighting in there too, but she looks uncomfortable. She looks like they sat her up there and I don't know.
It's American Idol.
We don't need to hate on that.
Really weird headline did you see about American Idol? She apparently, and during like those early auditions, where you have those like really awkward people come in too.
Yeah.
There was this one guy that came in, and she like stole a kiss from him. Like, she was like, "Oh, give me a kiss on the cheek."
Oh.
And then she like moved her face, and they like kind of barely kissed.
Nice, congrats.
But apparently he was like afterwards
suing,
really sad. He was like, "I have been saving myself. I had never kissed anyone.
No,
like that's not how I wanted my first kiss.
No,
it was this whole thing that she kind of had to like, It wasn't like a big deal as like anyone was like really mad. It was just like a funny like.
Oh my, Katy. Awkward. You got to realize that this is Katy Perry receives backlash for giving American Idol contestant kiss. Gets first kiss. Wow, Benjamin Glaze. First off, Benjamin, you shouldn't have put yourself in that situation. So if you're saving yourself for a single kiss, come on, man. American Idol, Katy Perry.
Also, Katy Perry.
I was going to say, congrats. I mean, actually, no, not congrats. It's all downhill from here.
True.
Maybe not, though. Maybe he wins.
That's why he was bummed.
Yeah, it might be. Next up, our weekly check-in with Mr. West. We do have a Kanye sighting. Not actually seen Kanye, so maybe this doesn't fit, but apparently there is now a dating website going around called YeezyFans.dating. And yes, you got that right, folks. It is as simple as that. It's a dating site for people who share the common love of Kanye West.
That's cool.
That's cool, yeah. Oh, that is cool. I have a feeling like there's a lot of interesting people perusing that site. Also, dating sites in general, like online, like that. When it's around a common interest, like I
mean, how big
farmers?
You really have to be like just because someone else likes Kanye doesn't mean I'm gonna enjoy that person's company.
But maybe it started Brockhampton. That was the shared love of Brockhampton of Kanye West. Yeah, Kanye too, though.
Fair enough.
So maybe this works.
Yeah.
So if you're single and lonely out there and you love Mr. West, you should hop on there and see. We should do fake profiles on there. That'd be kind of fun. That would be really cool.
Okay.
All right. We'll do
next episode. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll report back. We will report back.
Now for our last segment for this intro, we are bringing back a classic sound imploder. What song are we doing this time?
It's Sound Imploder, right?
Yeah.
Or Song Imploder. I think we've changed the name of it.
Yeah, we probably have.
Crap.
Song, whatever.
That's how good of a segment it is. It's literally, we want 2 different versions of it.
Yep.
Yes, we are doing a sound / I think it's song.
It's song.
We're going to do our own version, Song Imploder of Drake's #1 hit single, God's Plan. It's playing right now.
They wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish on me. Yeah. I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the thing things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story, shit was different with me. God's plan, God's plan. I hold back, sometimes I won't, yeah. I feel good, sometimes I don't, hey, no. I finesse down Western Road, hey, next. Might go down to G.O.D., yeah, wait. I go hard on Southside G, yeah, wait. I make sure that Northside eat. And still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they
So while we have this playing in the background, Alan, what are some of your thoughts on God's plan?
Okay. Just to start off, that little intro beat is definitely just sounds like it came from a video game, and very much so a Donkey Kong video game. Okay. Like, it has to be from a Donkey Kong video game.
Alan loves the Donkey Kong Drake connection because there's got to be some type of connection there. Drake is a gamer.
Yeah.
We saw him play Fortnite.
Exactly.
Very relevant game.
I feel like he was probably playing some video games and like there was a random beat and,
he was like, oh.
Wait, let's do
He's
something
like 40,
this.
come in here, like sample this real quick. And he just sat there.
Yeah.
He seems like a guy that's inspired by video games. That's cool. When I was doing my research, Googling the words God's plan, surprisingly, it leads to a ton of spiritual articles.
Really? Surprisingly.
Which is a reminder that even Drake isn't more popular than God. God and Jesus are still more popular than Drake. So that's something to always remember. Yeah. You know?
I mean, how many followers does Jesus have on Instagram?
How many followers does Jesus have in the Catholic religion? A lot. Or in the religions in general? We're all followers in some way. Not to get too religious here, but, you know. And he's back.
But can't measure it, you know?
Yeah, it was God's plan for him to come back, but you're right, you can't. What else you got?
Just overall, as I did the research for this song, I found that Drake basically created the most self-aggrandizing song he could have. He literally says the words, might go down as a G-O-D.
Yeah, 6 God. Dude,
so
he's
literally saying he's going to go down as a god.
Well.
So who's more popular, Jesus or Drake? There you
God.
go. He claims he make sure Northside eat. Mm-hmm. So he's fed all of Canada.
Wow. Just like Jesus did with fish and loaves.
This is Drake's version of the Bible.
It's funny because what I got out of it when I went on Genius, they do like the lyrical annotations and it like dives into the lyrics. The majority of
someone else's research.
I annotated, Alan. Okay. Annotation is the key word. The majority of lyrics they tied into his possible beefing with anyone from Meek Mill to Chris Brown. Like it's all about his beef, and I'm like. Drake is like the softest guy in the music industry. That's like what he's known for, being like a friendly, soft, nice guy. The whole video for this song is him being a nice guy. How is the song apparently tied with so much alleged beef that he's had?
Yeah, that was the other thing I found was that he basically, I feel like he's using the song to like create haters so that he can rap about having haters.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you got to do that in the rap game.
Yeah. You know, he's just like, lots of bad things they wishing on me. I don't know that many people really like wish bad things to Drake because he seems like even if he's not your favorite rapper, I don't think there's a lot of people that are like, man, really wish something bad happened to Drake.
Drake's leg to break.
Yeah, it's like even if you don't like his music, I don't know many people that are really like he just seems like an asshole. Like no one really says that about Drake.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, he's in the spotlight. He's number one. He's been the hottest artist for as long as I can remember.
Yeah,
forever basically.
Wow. Like a month.
Wait, the line, don't pull up to 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. Who's up at 6 a.m. trying to cuddle with anybody? 6 a.m.? I feel like that would make sense. I mean, again, maybe it's because he's up late at a club and that's when he gets home at 6 a.m. and we're just not cool like that.
He's playing video games on Twitch.
That's what it is.
6 a.m. Mm-hmm. The girl's like, are you going to stop playing Fortnite ever?
And he's like, yeah, it's 6 a.m. when I ran for 9 straight hours on this game and then you can come over. But he doesn't want you to come over. He's more than just that, you know?
So, you know, basically to summarize it, Drake is creating a religion.
Basically.
You know, this is his Bible.
He is God.
He's creating false narrative of haters.
Yeah.
And apparently just you have to show up at 7 a.m. to
7
cuddle
a.m.
with him? I don't know.
Or the whole night. No, the whole night. That's what it is.
Is it like you have to get there early?
Yeah.
When does he want to cuddle?
Wait, the other thing that I got, Drake is a liar. Because the most famous line of the song, you see the videos of everyone screaming it and then turning up. She said, "Do you love me?" I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry. So you lied to her because you said that you partially love her, and then when you said the two things you love, you didn't include her, this alleged woman. You included your mother and your bed. So you're a liar, Drake.
That's pretty bad.
Nice try. We caught you red-handed. And that was Song Imploder.
Yeah.
Or Sound Imploder.
Song.
Okay. I'm just going to
we're
keep
going
switching
with
around.
song.
I like it. No, that's good. Well, with that, I think it's time to dive into the interview. This is a great interview, as they all are.
Yes.
By all my friends. Again, we sat down with Flint Eastwood from Detroit, Michigan. She was in town opening for this band called Paris that are very popular as well. We got to sit down in a restaurant with her. So, we also get a special interview within the interview when Flint Eastwood grabbed the mic and interviewed our server.
Yes. She was very nice, like all of our, honestly, interviews have been so far.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a mean one. Tight.
But no, her music is really, really good.
Yep.
Like Evan said, she will probably be a household name in the
She
next
will. We're calling it.
Year or so.
Same way that we
Whenever
called
her new
K-Flay.
music keeps coming out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Billboard wrote about K-Flay after us.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. There'll be a Billboard article about it.
Once they listen to our episode, they'll probably write about it after.
Hello, Billboard. We hear you right now. She's got songs with Grizz. She's on a song with Manatee Commune, who's a local kid that we know. She's gonna do a full tour, and it's all really good stuff. So we're excited to see what happens with her.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
So here's Flint
Eastwood.
What if we never learn to tell a lie? What if we always learn to sympathize? When we were younger, our minds were always clear. If I could go back to those golden years, I'd rewind. I wish that I could turn that time. I'd reset the dial, change my mind. I'd open up my heart, choose a different way to start. 'Cause love is always blind. Let's rewind. Let's rewind. 'Cause love is always blind. Open up my heart, choose a different way to start. Let's rewind. Open up my heart, choose a different way to start. Let's rewind.
We are in an undisclosed location in Seattle, Washington. With a very special guest all the way from Detroit, Michigan. We have Flint Eastwood. How's it going?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. Do we call you Jax of Flint Eastwood, or are you Flint Eastwood, or
Flint Eastwood is just me. It's
okay.
like my artist name.
got it?
You can call me Jax.
Uh-huh.
Some people will call me Flint if they don't know me, but
Yeah.
I feel like we're good enough buds where you can call me Jax.
Already.
Yeah.
I mean, you are on a podcast called All My Friends, which means you legally are a friend of ours now. It's binding.
Yeah.
You can't get out
I'm
of
not
it.
against it.
That thing you signed that we gave you, definitely a
you don't
legal
remember
binding
that?
contract to be our friend.
Didn't even feel like I needed my lawyer to look at it. You're trustworthy.
Do you have a lawyer?
I mean, every band has a lawyer.
Yeah, I guess. See, this is why we're not in bands. It's probably a good thing.
Every band should have a lawyer. If you
Yeah,
don't, then-
there you go.
Yeah.
Is that your number one piece of advice for young aspiring bands? Get a lawyer because this is a shit show.
No.
Do you have
If you're
another
starting
one?
off in your room, please get a lawyer.
Get a lawyer.
God.
That should be the first piece.
I just want to put on record that I was a musical project for almost 10 years before I got a lawyer. So just
10
just
years?
Wait. Just wait. Or writing music for 10 years.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Pretty
That-
good.
So have a lawyer, but wait.
Yeah. Wait 10 years or
You'll know
until,
you made it whenever you need a lawyer.
until it's the right. Well, wait. Let's see. So 10 years ago, or before you had a lawyer, what is the importance of covert affairs
Oh my God.
to the career of Flint Eastwood? AKA, did you have a lawyer when you worked with a television show? Right?
You guys
Covert
you
affairs?
did your research.
Of course we did.
God.
Am I saying that right? Even covert
Covert affairs.
I don't know.
I did
I don't know why I
not.
have a tough time with it.
I did not have a lawyer then.
No?
No.
So
and
how'd you?
I wish that
Can
I
you
did.
explain a little bit just what it is?
Yes, covert affairs. It was. Hold on.
Okay.
I can't believe you guys are bringing
This is what we wanted. This is what we wanted. Her mic is down. She is crying tears of happiness.
Oh, God.
Let the record
so
show.
Much happiness.
That's good.
So Covert Affairs was a television show, I believe on USA Network.
Yep.
With Piper Perabo. I think that's how you say her last name. I have no idea. She was in Coyote Ugly. That's all I know. Which I was like, hey, look
There
at
you
that.
go.
She's legit then.
Yeah, she's
You heard
legit.
that name and you're like, yep,
Yep,
we're doing
done.
it.
Piper's on it. Okay.
Yeah.
It was about a female spy that no matter how many guns were shot at her, she could dodge all the bullets and she could beat the bad guys no matter
Okay.
what. But no, realistically, it was a good show and it had its demographic that they really nailed. And it was, we had the theme song for that television show. It was like the first license that my project got, which means that like somebody basically rented our song to be
So
able to
you
use
signed that agreement without a lawyer?
it. Yes. Would not advise to anyone else. No.
Do you feel like you got played with, or did you think they take advantage of it, or like?
We didn't get taken advantage of, but it's just that thing. It was like we were a young band. We didn't really know any better.
Yeah.
We could have gotten more.
I was gonna say,
But
you
like-
saw money and you're like, oh yeah, someone's gonna pay us to do something. Like,
I mean, we're talking so much about. I just want to go on the record, like money, and like money is like
Yeah,
of
there's
all the
lawyers,
reasons
money.
of all the reasons I do art or exist as a human being. Money is literally at the very bottom. Like I kind of hate money, and like I will never, hopefully, have to sue anybody. I don't believe in suing people. Like I just want to go on record that like. I do, like, we're talking about lawyers a lot. I'm not about lawyers. guys.
I think if anyone knew you or knew Flint Eastwood as a
Yeah.
project at all, they would know.
They would.
That's the
I
case.
basically, like, Broke Royalty, my last EP, was literally basically written about how I don't like money.
Exactly. We hate money. That's why we got our That's why we got our microphones off Amazon.
Yes.
That'll tell you something right
Yep.
there.
Work with what you got.
Exactly.
Love
Come
it.
on.
Absolutely.
We're not doing too much.
So I saw or heard that you don't believe there's really a food that can't go with cheese or peanut butter.
Yep.
What about Pop Rocks?
Pop. Hold on. Hold on. See, the thing is we usually will sit in the bus and Google this and see if there is a dessert
That doesn't.
that exists. Because I don't think cheese would go with Pop Rocks at all.
No.
I think, and the rule of the game is that like
This is a game.
this is a game that we all play when we're bored, and like we'll bring it up every once in a while. You can get others around you involved. It's very much a group activity. It's the concept is there's no food that exists that can't go with either cheese or peanut butter in some fashion.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like a lot of people will bring up like fish, like salmon, and it's like nope, salmon goes on salads that sometimes have
Yeah,
cheese
cheese.
on them.
Yeah.
And so it's like there has to
Or
be
smoked salmon with like some blue cheese?
Exactly, like
Easy.
it's every type of form
Goldfish
of
and
peanut
cheese,
butter.
you know?
Yeah,
Cheddar
And
goldfish.
apparently somebody tweeted us that's like, peanut butter doesn't go with cheese and cheese doesn't go with peanut butter. And my bass player is like, that's BS, man. I used to eat peanut butter and cheese sandwiches all the time when I was a kid. I was like, you're lying.
Yeah, that's
you
just-
are
Have you ever had a
lying.
hamburger with peanut butter on it?
No.
I'm a big
Oh my God.
burger peanut butter guy, but they
Dude.
put cheese on that too. So
That's
send them that.
like what kind of peanut butter? Like what is
It's
the
just like
context?
Jiffy. You can like there. Well, I'm from Minnesota, and there's some
Yeah.
there's some burger places that you can get a Jiffy burger.
Oh
that
my
has peanut
God!
butter
So
on
it's
it.
like straight up. It's not even like
Bacon.
peanut sauce.
No.
No.
It's literally for like Jiffy peanut butter. I tell you, do
They
it.
ran out of things to add burgers in Minnesota. They're like, what? Oh, we found
peanut
this
butter.
Jiffy.
Oh
Yeah, just
my
throw
God.
it on there. They
Oh
deep
my
fried it probably afterwards.
Yeah, we did. We're big deep fryers. Wait, for the record, let the
Yeah.
record show that this is what rock and roll lifestyle is, folks. We have
It's-
Flint Eastwood on their tour bus, not ripping shots, not going to crazy parties, literally Googling what works well
Yeah.
with cheese
What
and peanut butter.
dessert?
What if Pop Rocks and peanut butter go together? Is what's going to be
That's
what
it.
we're googling
This is going to be a
tonight.
big one.
Thank you very much.
After big sold out shows, this is what you all do.
Yeah.
This is the lifestyle.
I want to clarify for the listeners at home that someone just brought me a French press.
This is it. In
That's why I
Seattle.
was saying thank you.
Do you want to say hi, waitress?
Hi, waitress.
Hey, what's your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, where are you from?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Ooh.
I was just in Salt Lake City. That's a great place.
Excellent. Wasatch Mountains, Park City.
Ooh, man, it's so beautiful up there. Like, I didn't realize that you're literally surrounded by mountains on every direction.
It is beautiful.
So, what do you enjoy doing in Seattle?
Waiting tables.
There it is, Jennifer.
love
She
it.
loves her job.
Love it.
How can you
Thanks,
hate on
Jennifer.
that? That's the first time we've ever had someone interview someone else in an interview.
I just figured it's all my friends. So,
That's what it is.
everyone-
Inception. Interview within an interview, though.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
All right. So diving a little bit into the music a little bit more. As some people may know, but some may not, you and your brother started a band originally called Apple Trees and Tangerines. Then you went on to
That's
rename.
public knowledge, right? You look surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised, but like I feel like I feel like most of the time I don't know. Anytime anyone
doesn't
brings
come
up that
up?
band name, well, it was so long ago that it's just like there are some fans that like I've been listening since Apple Juice and Tangerine since like the Red EP, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you fucking know that? That's amazing.
10 years ago?
About 10 years ago, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Well, 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
So then
Sorry.
you also renamed yourselves and you called yourself Power, and now you kind of on your own are Flint Eastwood. Kind of what was the reason behind changing names? But also like, was there ever like a fear of losing momentum as you were changing, the name of your band?
Yeah.
You start to grow a little bit of a fan base, and people are listening to your music, and then you change your name or you start a new project. Was there ever any fear of
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah, because it's the kind of thing of like, there's so many companies that have changed their names, and I was kind of looking into it when every time I'd think about changing the name,
Yeah.
it would just be like there's so many instances where people just like bounce back and it was a better name, and so for me, Apple Trees and Tangerines was too long. It felt more like a record name, and I started out writing folk music.
Okay.
And so that was very much folk based. It was like a 2-piece, me and my best friend, like folk duo. And so when I changed my name to Power, that was whenever I was doing like pop music. That's when I really started writing with my brother. And then we realized that like you try to Google Power or Power Band or Power
Impossible.
Music,
Impossible.
to find. And so I decided to go with Flint Eastwood just because it was kind of an homage to. We were using a lot of like spaghetti western samples at the time, and my dad used to like always watch spaghetti western films, and so it was just kind of homage to all that.
We were going to make sure not to ask you about your name because we feel like that's the number one question when you sit down for interviews.
Very good
we don't do that.
Roundabout
We
way.
don't do that. It's a good question.
Wow,
know?
you guys are tricky motherfuckers.
Hey, what can I say?
I appreciate
best
you guys.
Best in the podcast biz. Do you feel like a name that's that unique and like we like to talk with artists about like their brand, like a lot more than just the music. And obviously, it's a unique name, Flint Eastwood. And then even like some of the imagery you have, like this traditional hat that you wear, this red with a wide brim. I don't even know what kind of hat it is, but it seems very essential to the Flint Eastwood brand. Do you feel like all that stuff plays a bigger role than people normally would attribute?
I think at a certain time period it did. As we're sitting here now, I'm wearing a black beanie and Carhartt overalls, and that's what I basically have worn on tour for like the last like 2 months.
Okay.
So I'm transitioning out of the red hat, but I do feel like for every artist, how you present yourself, specifically how you present yourself on stage or like in press photos or like on social media or whatever, is very. It's very much a window inside of like the creative mind and like how they want to present themselves and what they want to show and what they want to keep away. And for me, wearing the red hat, wearing the all black, I really wanted to portray almost a character and almost an idea of like sleekness and very a lot of mystery. And I feel like I'm just at a point as an artist where I kind of want to strip away that mystery and I want to be more of my like authentic self, which that was my authentic self for a while, but like now I'm just like, I want to be comfortable. I want to not have to carry around a very, very stiff, giant red hat.
So you get annoyed by it?
Yes. The deciding factor to stop wearing that hat, we went to Australia in December, and we had to do 13 flights in 15 days. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm bringing this hat.
Because you have to pack it and...
Well, the thing is that you have to. I would put it in a hat box
you have to bring
because
a hat box.
it was a legit hat. Like I got them from a hat maker that like basically gave me these hats, and he's like, make sure you fucking take care of these because if you don't, then it's bad. And so I was like, shit, this is my once in a lifetime opportunity to have a really nice hat. I got to keep it nice. And so I would carry around a hat box, and the hat box was like a small suitcase. It was like an extra carry-on. And so having to find like a way to travel with that, specifically by plane, is just extremely difficult. And so I was like, you know what? It's just not worth it anymore. It's the breaking point.
Yeah. So is it one hat, or do you have like 8 of these hats?
I had
4.
I had one red hat.
Okay.
I had one hunter green hat.
Oh.
And then I had one blue hat that I never showed to the world.
What?
So when is that? Is that one going
When
to
is
come
that
back?
one?
That's going to be like when you
That's-
hit like a certain milestone of your career. Is that when you're going to bring it out?
What's like a big arena in Detroit that you could like headline?
Well, now it's the Little Caesars Arena.
Well, there you go. Bust out the blue hat at Little Caesars Arena.
Love
you
it.
come out
That'd
with
be
a hat and a
sweet.
pizza.
Oh my god.
That was a new addition.
Could the blue and what?
littlest,
Okay.
like, they just built it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the.
Oh, that's where the Pistons
Pistons
play, right?
play, yeah.
Yeah. People aren't going to those games. We don't need to talk about Detroit
People, wait,
basketball.
time
That's
out. Why are
different.
people not going to the games?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Well, I mean, Auburn, obviously, Auburn Hills,
Hills.
right? Is
Auburn
where they
Hills.
used to play, and it was like
Yeah.
such a beloved thing that.
It's going to take people a while. Sorry, go ahead. It's going to take people a while to, I think, get past the ridiculousness of it being called Little
There's a
Caesars
little,
Arena.
yeah, there's some bad arena names. We don't need to go
Yeah.
into that.
That's
There's
true.
like a power smoothie.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
right?
Oh, my
Stuff's
God.
weird.
I liked it when it was just like the team's name.
Right.
That was always nice.
Are you sick of like 8 Mile and Eminem references?
People usually don't make those to me.
Really?
Yeah.
But you used to live near 8 Mile?
Yes, I did. I grew
It's
up
a
off
real
of,
thing for those of you that don't know. It's
Yeah.
a real part of town street.
It is the division. 8 Mile is the division between Detroit and the suburbs.
Okay.
So it's like
Okay.
the literal dividing line. And so I lived off of 8 Mile and Kelly,
Okay.
which Eminem actually he name drops a location in one of his songs that was actually the street I grew up on.
Really?
Yeah. He says 8 Mile Novara, and I lived off of 8 Mile Novara.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Actually, kind of on that topic, you moved to LA at one point, correct?
Yep.
And what was the decision of like moving to LA versus Detroit? Because we think of like LA, New York, Seattle. I mean, there's Austin. There's a lot of cities that have a good music, culture and scene. And Detroit honestly has that, in my opinion. But it doesn't really get the recognition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there any reasoning as to why you moved to LA and then back to Detroit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had a specific reason for going to Los Angeles. This was in 2012. I believe.
Power years?
This was Power Years. We actually changed our name like right before we went out to LA.
You're ready to go Hollywood.
What do we need? We need a new sleek name.
There's a band called Powers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
They seem like an LA
fantastic.
thing. They're
Yeah.
great. I love
yeah,
them.
they're
I
really
love
good.
them, but anyways.
We actually got paid from Covert Affairs.
What?
And we were like, well, we got a large sum of cash.
Now's the time to
Let's
go.
move out to LA for a while. And so our intention was we wanted to get a manager and we wanted to get label interest because it's extremely difficult to find those two things living in Detroit just because you're not around. This was 2012, so you didn't have like SoundCloud and you didn't have like all these like. It wasn't as easy to just like hit up people on the internet as it is today, and it wasn't as easy to like hit up blogs yourself like it is today. Now you can I believe you can be a musician literally anywhere and be extremely successful. But at the time, I spent about a year out there, and the mindset. I mean, I loved being out there just because I had never experienced as much like collaboration and as much like everyone wants to work with each other kind of scenario with Los Angeles, which I really respect. And you get some of that in Detroit, but it was still pretty separated at the time. And so, we went back because it's hella expensive as an artist, especially a young
That
artist.
Covert Affairs money was running low.
Yeah,
They're
Ran
like, let's
low.
get
They
back.
didn't get renewed for another season.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And so, my brother was out there with me, and he wanted to get married, and so we decided to move back.
Yeah. Why do you feel like Detroit? I mean, because Detroit has an incredible music scene, Motown, blues, hip hop. There's all these things that it strives well and has successful, famous artists in, but it's just not included in these conversations of like cities in America known for music.
Yeah.
Like, is it just because that's what Detroit is? They're always the underdog. That's like the culture.
Kind
of
of.
the
Well,
city,
and it's really interesting that like I feel like at least outside of Motown, in my opinion, from what I know, and granted I don't know everything, so I can't speak for everyone.
Okay.
Outside of Motown, whenever an artist would pop off, they would create their own genre, and then like no one else would do what they do. Like it kind of happened with the garage rock scene. Kind of followed what the White Stripes did, but not enough to be as national as the White Stripes. And then like Eminem kind of did his thing with like E40 and like a bunch of different hip hop people, but they didn't. I mean, it didn't last extremely long. And then like fucking Kid Rock is a thing
Yeah, he is.
from
Yeah.
Detroit.
Isn't he in politics there?
No,
Or was
that
Gawk?
was a campaign
Was it a
for one of
gimmick?
his records.
That's what I
yeah.
thought. God, I fell for that.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, Detroit does have a lot of history. Detroit also birthed techno. Like a lot of people don't know that the Bellevue 3 were from like Derek May and all those people.
Yeah.
Underground Resistance. They still are located in Detroit.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's really awesome, and they do some phenomenal things completely independently, and like have always just been super self-sufficient, and I respect the hell out of those guys.
Yeah.
Like YG and like all those guys. It's so good.
Would you ever do a techno song?
Yeah, with those guys, 100%. Yeah, if they would ever have me, like that would be like fucking iconic. Like
That's when you'd wear the blue hat.
I would lose my shit. Yep.
You'd walk into that studio like, yep, techno Flint is here.
I feel like
about to go down.
I would need a lot more years doing music. I feel like in order to like
to do it right.
well, not even to do it right, to like for me to feel like I was worthy enough to like work with those guys, because they're legends. They're legends. Yeah, total legends.
So I mean, you worked with Grizz, actually, another Michigan native.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other Michigan or Detroit artists would you like to work with?
I would absolutely love to do something with Jack White.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, I would. Man, that would be like.
That's the goal.
That would be so dope. Like I thoroughly respect what he does, and talk about like branding. Like oh my god, he opened up a Third Man Records store in Detroit a couple years back, and just man, the way that it's all set up is just so insane. Like there are different like color coordinations for like the different parts of his career.
Wow.
For, like White Stripes, he has the red and white, and for his solo stuff, it's all blue, and for like Third Man, it's all like black and yellow, and it's like, and that's just his branding. I mean, that's not even talking about like his music. I mean, he's just like a phenomenal musician, amazing songwriter, like super. Anytime he does something, I feel like it's just so out of the box. Like it's just amazing. I'd love to work with him. I'd love to do something with Patti Smith. I mean, she's not technically. She's like she lived in Detroit for a while. Just anybody. I think Detroit music, it has so much rich history that it's just like I just want to. I would work with everyone if I.
Danny
could.
Brown.
I would 100% would.
Huge
work with
Danny
Brown.
fan.
Danny Brown, Big Sean, anybody. I don't care.
Yeah. You
I
love
don't
Vince
care.
Staples too, don't you?
Oh, I love Vince
Big
Staples.
Vince. We're not. He's not. Northside Long Beach, but we're not
Yeah.
Detroit. But I just
Northside
that was one of my things that I dug up and
Yes.
researched. That you're a big Vince fan.
My bass player loves him even
Yeah.
more. Like
do you-
every time we play a festival and he's on,
You stalk him?
well, we don't stalk him.
Have you ever met Vince?
No, not yet.
Bummer.
Not yet.
Yet. Keyword yet.
Yet. Speak it into existence.
I feel like these festivals would be the time to do it. Everybody's there, everybody's hanging out.
Yeah.
It's time to do it.
Yeah.
So next one you do, you should make sure to meet Vince.
Yep.
And then tell him to come on the podcast.
There you go.
Tell him how great it is.
There you go.
Friends.
Yeah, exactly. Extending the friend network.
Yeah.
So we want to talk a little bit about pop music. Are you okay with the label pop music?
Yeah.
Do you consider it pop
Yes.
music?
Yes,
Yeah,
100%,
absolutely.
yeah.
See, because it seems like there's been a lot of transitions from obviously originally folk music to then the Powers, chapter that seemed way more pop focused, and then this is obviously pop influenced, but it can go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And we always feel like pop is one of those genres that, while women in music are still underrepresented in nearly every facet of it, or undervalued, which is unfortunate, pop music is one of those genres that is more prevalent, that like the top players are women.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, as someone that's not a top player but you're in the genre, that's the same thing? Do you feel like it's? I mean, we just kind of like to hear the thoughts about like women specifically in a genre like that.
So what exactly is the question again?
The question is, do you feel like it's a similar, what's the way I want to word this? I don't know. I feel like I'm fucking this up.
Just go for it.
I don't even have like a specific thing though. We want to have like a discussion about it, but we also know that there's like a lot of
history.
There's a lot of history, and there's also a lot of hesitation about even being like, well, you're a female musician.
Yeah.
We don't want to have that conversation because everyone's a
mean,
musician, and I know
yeah.
you've written about this in songs before.
Yes.
And that's just something that we like.
But it is something that like it's a part of my identity. I am a woman, and it's like the bottom line is that women are a minority in music. Like that is what it is. And so to me, it'll always be something that is unique and something that people will bring up just because it's something that's not the everyday, and that's fine.
So I'll ask this question.
Okay, let's do it.
I believe
that up.
Hey, you did great.
Thank you.
I believe I believe you've said that you had a dream of creating a project with only women.
Yeah.
From writing, producing, musicians in the band, directors for videos, visuals, anything.
Mm-hmm.
How is that dream going? And do you think you'll ever, truly say I'm going to make this project, whatever it is, if it's a song or if it's a EP or if it's a full album?
Yeah.
Do you really think you'll ever just go for doing that?
Yeah, I think it's a total possibility. I think there are so many. I was reading an article on Billboard the other day where they were just like, there are so many women producers, but people just don't talk about them. Like,
Yeah.
It's really insane how many just like extremely talented producers there are, and extremely talented just everything as far as like female creatives go. I think it'll take a little time for me to find everyone, but I do think that there's a possibility that it'll eventually happen. Just because there's so many great women creatives out there that like, if we all just work together, I feel like we could create something amazing. And there are other artists that are kind of picking up that too. Like Lights did a tweet the other day of just like, yo, what are some female producers that like we can fuck with? And like, even I'm on tour with a band called Paris right now, and like Lynn Gunn, who's the singer of Paris, is like low key an amazing producer.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't call herself a producer, but I definitely call her a producer.
Okay.
Like she's amazing.
Yeah.
And so I think future will tell, but that is something that I do want to do eventually.
Can we get a song with Sigrid?
Oh, I would love that.
She's the best, right?
God, she's so
We're
good.
big Sigrid fans.
She is so small.
She's so small, like
She's
actually
like
physically?
stature. Like I always assumed. We played with her in New York a while back, and so yeah, we played with her in New York. Number one, nicest
I
people
bet.
that I've ever met. Like we walked in and they were just like, "Oh, hello, hi, I am
Swedes,
Sigrid."
you know?
They're
Yeah,
Scandinavian.
or Sigrid, or they.
I'm sure they say it way cool.
Yeah,
Sigrid.
Isn't it
I
like
think
Sigrid?
Americans say it's Sigrid, but I think it's Sigrid.
Sigrid.
Anyways, oh well, I could be wrong with that.
whatever.
You played with
Anyways,
her.
so I walked in and like literally every single band member came up and was just like, "Hey, I'm this person. Like, hello, how are you?" And like looking at her photos, they always take it as like the way that they position her in
She
her
looks
videos and her
taller?
photos. She looks like an Amazon, and she is shorter than I am. She like maybe comes up to my shoulders.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like 5'3".
Yeah.
Like I'm not tall
So
at all.
she's like 5.
And so she like hopped up to me and I'm like, "You're amazing.
Yeah.
Like, this is incredible."
Some pipes for someone so small.
Oh my
so, yeah.
God, she has so much grit in her voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's
She's
an
one of our
amazing songwriter. Like, ooh.
She's the Bruno Mars of pop music because she's so short and they always have to make her look so tall.
Oh my God.
That's my favorite thing to talk
Oh
about with
my
Bruno.
God.
I love Bruno, don't get me wrong, but I just think the
His
most stressful
afros.
We
job
may
in
or
the
may not
world.
have hated on Bruno before on
Yeah.
the spot.
I love Bruno
I
Mars.
love him too. No,
Not his
and
music.
we're not hating on
Nope.
him at all. I just
He has like, man, if there is like one artist that I would deem the cool artist of our generation, it's fucking Bruno Mars, man.
it is.
It is Bruno Mars, yeah.
Wow.
Which I'm sure
Any reason why?
I have the feeling by your body language that you staunchly disagree.
I wouldn't call him the coolest.
Exactly.
I like him. I've seen him.
I'm saying it's cool as far as
cool.
like swag.
Okay.
Like he's got
and
so
through.
much swagger
Yeah.
to him that like I feel like I am chilling with like a grandpa that was secretly a pimp in the 70s, and like I want to just go dancing with him so bad.
I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing is he
Yeah.
can dance and
He
he's a
can dance,
performer.
He can sing. He's an amazing songwriter.
Yeah.
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 Songwriting, man,
no.
that's the thing for
It's a
me.
tough
If
thing.
someone's an amazing songwriter, I'm just like, yes, please, let's work together, 100%.
Yeah. That's the real thing. I'm glad that we got to talk
What
about Bruno
shit?
too.
What shit have you
No.
talked about
Well,
Bruno?
what do you-
we talked about the fact that if you watch any music video
any of
or
his live
performances, you will notice that every shot is from below.
Yeah.
camera-
Oh, of course.
And
Yeah.
their backup dancers are 4 feet back.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
We're not hating on it.
He probably has like little like platforms built into his
You ever
shoes.
seen his
Oh, he does? He does?
carpool karaoke? You can tell he's sitting on something.
Oh, his hair is always really
exactly.
Yeah.
I like
Hey,
Bruno.
You know, sometimes you got to pad the stats.
Yeah, absolutely. Every basketball player does it. You know, it's like add 2 inches to it. It's a rule of thumb. All right, we're gonna
Yeah.
cruise through some personal questions here.
Okay.
Hopefully ones that you haven't been asked.
Okay, sweet.
Um,
I'm intrigued and excited and a little nervous.
I have a feeling like we could talk like 2 hours in this section, so
Yeah.
we'll try to keep it
Okay.
quick. Who's the most famous person in your cell phone?
Famous person in my cell phone. I have to check.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know.
You're not a name dropper?
I'm not really a name dropper. No.
No Eminem?
No, Eminem. I don't think. I typically, honestly, I usually get my tour manager to take people's numbers as well. So
okay.
it's like, I don't think I have anybody
Nobody?
for you
Nobody.
guys.
Any friends you've worked with? Probably.
Any friends I've worked
I mean,
with?
you know, like
Like-
Grizz would be a good example of
I
someone
mean, yeah,
famous.
I mean, I have Grizz's
I'm not saying he's the
number.
most famous, but I'm just saying he would be a
Somebody.
famous person.
Let me think. I don't know. I kind of always have the vibe of like. I feel like these days everyone's so like, yeah, let's connect on social media, yeah, let's whatever. But I kind of have the vibe of like, if we're meant to like be around each other again and do something
It'll
again,
happen.
it'll happen. Like I'm not necessarily the type that's like, I'm gonna tag you in all my pictures and do like I'm just a very chill human being,
Yeah.
and I probably just don't know any famous people.
That might be it.
That's probably
that
it.
might be it.
That's probably
You went
it.
to LA and you're like, no,
No, not for
can't
me.
do this.
What's your go-to order at the Drifter Cafe?
A Drifter Coffee. Drifter Coffee.
I love Drifter coffee.
Yeah?
Oh,
You're a
Aaliyah
big
is the best.
You're a big coffee person.
I love coffee. I'm drinking
aficionado.
coffee literally right now.
Yeah. But you're a Starbucks drinker too, so.
I am a Starbucks drinker. Only on the road. Listen, let me.
No. We've never
specify-
been on the road.
Let me
I
specify.
trust you.
I was mentioning before this podcast started. Whenever I have the choice of either gas station coffee or Starbucks, I will always go Starbucks. And like Starbucks is like it feels like home a little bit. I'll be honest. It feels
Also,
something that's like
It is the
consistent.
easiest way to get consistency across the country.
Exactly. It's so consistent. But with Drifter Coffee, which I totally prefer more than Starbucks. Detroit. She's great. Yeah, my buddy Aaliyah started it, and she worked at coffee shops forever, and it was always her dream. And so like I helped her like film her Kickstarter for it, and like me and my creative director helped that.
Cool.
Shout out Good Pals.
Shout out.
But I usually will order just a straight up black coffee, which is like the biggest compliment that you can get from me. Because I don't even have to add anything to
That's
it.
it.
It's, just, it's that good.
Exactly.
All right, last question.
Okay, last question. We asked this to everybody. Have you heard about the conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne is dead?
Yes.
Do you believe it?
No.
Why not?
Because I feel like everyone is just always looking for something extra, but it's like it's Avril Lavigne.
That's it.
Like it's not. It's you get what you see.
Okay. That's a good way to put it. We've always been worried that someone's going to be offended by that. I've always been worried that I've been worried.
Off the record, there's someone that we're going to interview soon that we can't use that question with.
Okay, cool. We won't.
I just wonder like I feel like everyone always has that conspiracy theory. Like I feel like Andrew WK gets that too. Of like people think that he like swapped halfway through his career, like it's a different person.
Well,
And so I'm like maybe it's just one of those questions that like when I die and whatever is next and they let me ask that one question.
That'll be the one.
My question will be, has there ever been a celebrity
that
has switched? Yeah.
So do you have any conspiracy theories you believe in?
Do I have any conspiracy theories overall? Let me think for a second. I feel like, I mean, it's I don't know if that it's a conspiracy theory or if it's just like this is knowledge everyone knows that everyone ignores, which I feel like that's totally something that if you set up as conspiracy theory, that's how you
Yeah.
No, but I do feel like we are definitely being like listened to and watched on our electronics.
That's a real thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Gotta be.
Especially with like advertising stuff. Like the biggest example that I give, I was with a buddy of mine, and I was about to do I got a phone call about an Australian interview, and I had never said the word Australia to this friend. Never mentioned that I was going to Australia. Never mentioned that I had an interview. I literally just picked up my phone. And I go, oh fuck, I forgot that I have an Australian interview right now. And so we go back into her car and sit down, and we start the interview. And she gets an email on her phone for Subway Australia.
Yep.
She has never been there. She's never thought about going there.
Real thing.
I'm just like,
Real thing.
fuck it, we're being watched, we're being
Yep.
listened to.
Close that
this
shit
is
off.
ridiculous. Put tape on everything.
Well, that seems like the perfect spot to end the interview. Thank you so
Yes.
much for sitting down with
Hey,
us.
thank
Good
you
luck
for
on the
making
rest
the
of the
time,
tour.
guys.
Of course, thank
Yeah,
you. We
thank
appreciate
you.
it. You're so sweet. We hope you have a good rest of the tour, good rest of the year.
And
Thanks for
good
sitting
luck
down.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. She said, "Do you tell me?" That was Flint
Eastwood.
There we go. We're going to start doing that. As friends, on All My Friends, we should start finishing each other's
Sentences.
Whoa, that was tight. That was so genuine. We didn't point each other at all. Yeah, thanks so much for Flint sitting down and being flexible and coming across the street and sitting at a restaurant with us. Shout out to our server. Crap, I'm forgetting her name.
She asked us to, interview her again next time she's in town.
Yeah.
Forgot about that part.
We have to do that too.
So,
yeah. Again, remember to subscribe, like, tell a friend. No, your homework right now as a listener is to tell a friend about this podcast.
seriously.
We've had a very nice listener post on their Instagram story shouting this podcast out specifically.
Yeah. You guys have social media. I know this, so share it.
And a lot of you have more than a few hundred friends on Instagram, Facebook, unless you're a nerd and you don't. So go ahead, make sure to do that. We've got a lot of good content coming. We'll
Yes.
stay on this weekly kick here.
We've been recording a lot, guys. We do have
Getting
a lot.
tired.
But luckily, that just means more episodes for everyone. So
It's good. No, it's good.
we're trying to stay on schedule.
And soon more Tito's. we're going to be getting
Absolutely.
Tito's vodka. So if you tell a friend and tag us online, then we'll make sure that you get that bottle of Tito's when the Tito's money comes in.
Perfect.
When it comes in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be good.
Right.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
Love you.